Gotta do what I gotta do and go yoink
How many
some,
people are on this server?
9 people.
Are you playing
Oh,
Minecraft to start the stream?
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm providing the entertainment.
This is now a Minecraft stream. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Oh shit. Here, I gotta put those back.
Let's see what you're doing. That's what I want to see. Hold on, let's see this.
I gotta go yoink it.
Bro, I'm streaming you streaming Minecraft right now.
Oh my god.
You have a chest called Shiny?
No, this isn't my house. This is.
Oh yeah, okay. Your fucking house was like chocolate, dude. I hate it.
Yeah. I was yoinking someone's stuff. What?
How do I get out of this? How do I get out of the stream?
I don't know. Okay. Here. Maybe you shouldn't be in the stream because I don't know what that image is. But he was spending all
I don't know
night,
how to.
like,
I don't know how to get out of this.
You hover over the stream and then press to stop watching on the right.
Oh no! I do not want to.
I want to see it. What is
that stream?
Yeah, but are you no longer watching Skeleton?
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know how to get out of the thing.
Oh my god, he's a fucking weeb. What is he? God damn it, Mike. I didn't know if it would be something else.
How do I get out of the screen share thing?
Click
I want to go back to the chat.
Text chat. Yeah, click on the text chat.
Oh my god. Oh.
All right. So also on your stream it says Free Agency Podcast. This is the Lock-in podcast.
Yeah, I didn't have time to change the graphic.
Dude, he did so much on this shit last time.
My bad. I didn't think to change the graphic. I apologize. This is a Scuffed stream already. All right. We're gonna go into the intros. We got the usual suspects here. It is me, the smelly skeleton. We've got my boy Deer.
Hey, what's up?
To deliver the doc work. We've got Kenshin to talk about the meta. Okay, good intro, Kenshin. We got Boss to talk about everything. Boss isn't gonna say anything, and we've got the Apple Man.
Hello, it's me.
Yeah, it's the other guy from Twitter that everybody hates.
Tier 4 leaker.
Yeah. But someone should do a LCS leaker tier list and defend me being on the S tier. That's what I want to see.
Hey, he's up there with Travis Gafford and
oh yeah, dude. Big Gaffy Waffy. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and do one more thing before we get started on everything else. I want to ask everybody some deep personal questions. How was everybody's holiday? Apple, we'll start with you.
Oh, it was a swell time. We didn't really do anything because of COVID land, but I had a swell time. Been spending with online friends and family. But yeah, how about you, man?
We did the good old Christmas Zoom. I went to go after I tested negative. for COVID, of course, I went and visited my parents in the California. That was fun. Just hang out, watch movies. My dad got me super into Forged in Fire. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that show, but the show is fucking amazing. It's just like 3-4 sweaty dudes just making weapons, and then they like jam it into ballistics gel and shit, and it bleeds, and it's really cool. There's a guy there, and he says shit will kill or not. It's really cool. But yeah, how about you, boss?
Pretty decent. Yeah, just got to see some friends, but not too many, obviously, because COVID and all that. Spent it with my family. Got to watch some football. About to watch the Seahawks lose in the playoffs. It's pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Niner fan. Shit. All right. Kenshin.
Yeah, it was pretty chill. Visited family, friends. Well, pretty much got back right after New Year's and started practicing all the champs, all the meta stuff. So I'm informed and shit like that. So
Quick question, Kenshin. What is a traditional Christmas dish in Germany?
we eat a lot of raclette, I guess.
Okay, cool. I don't even know what the fuck that is. All right, and
What?
dear,
Like the champion.
shut up, shut up, dear. What was your holiday? Fucking it.
Wasn't too bad. I turned 24.
Hey.
We partied on Zoom.
Hey.
Yeah, pretty much it. Just watching spamming sports, getting ready for my DFS stuff for esports and traditional sports, and yeah, just a chock full of getting ready for DFS and school that starts this week. So
Hell
Oh
yeah.
dear. Who's winning
Everybody
the Super
excited for
Bowl?
school? Oh yeah,
who's
fucking hell.
winning the Super Bowl? It's hard not to say the Chiefs.
Anyone but the Chiefs, please. Please.
It's hard to say and to not say, but my sleeper pick will be the Buffalo Bills.
I'm rooting for the Browns.
Yeah, I want the Bills to win, but I do think the Chiefs have a really good shot.
Fuck the Chiefs. All right, let's not make this a sports stream because we could, me, boss, and Deer could probably talk about football for fucking hours.
For sure.
Let's move on to the actual topic. So the first thing we're going to talk about, we actually have a structure this time, guys. So this is going to be an interesting episode. This one's definitely for going on YouTube. First thing we're talking about are the LCS lock-in rosters. I'm going to throw this to we're going to go for boss first, and he's just going to talk about the lock-in rosters and explain what they are and why there are some certain changes with rosters that we didn't expect. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, so lock-ins really exciting. However, due to COVID and the pandemic, a lot of teams are going to run with some substitutes. So the ones that have been announced are Solo and Griffin, who's formerly known as Wiggly for CLG. NXI is going to be starting in place of Jose Diodo for FlyQuest. Immortals is going to be running Potluck in the jungle, Keith at AD carry, and Joey at support. TL is going to be running Armal, aka Greg, at jungle. And apart from those, if I'm correct, everything else should be kind of as we expected. One thing that I've really been looking at and excited to hear about more and see how it unfolds is the current crop of jungle talent that is going to be playing at this lock-in. We have no Broxa, no Santorin, no Jose Diodo, and no Xerxes, but it doesn't really count. So it's going to be really exciting to see. I've been hearing some really good things about how Spica has been doing currently right now, so I'm excited to see. I mean, especially as a TSM fan, but Spica was TSM's best player, and it seems like he's primed to make a stand for one of the top players in the LCS this year, so I'm excited. Anybody else have anything to add?
Here, do you have anything to add to the lock-in roster stuff?
Not really. I think it's kind of good and bad that we're seeing some of these young guys in, but it's also going to be sad that we don't get to see the full hype around some of these actual starting rosters that were supposed to be in place for this tournament. So you can't. It's gonna actually skew a lot of people's power rankings going into the season. Because there have been big questions on Twitter of like, are people actually gonna give a crap about this tournament? Is this for fun? A lot of people saying it might not be huge because there's like the charity aspect, so it might be just a for fun tournament. But I think for a lot of teams, it's like a good way to showcase your rosters going into spring split or I don't even know if you can call it spring split anymore. It's like the first half split.
Spring half.
Yeah, spring half. So like for me, it's gonna skew a lot of people because a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, these guys haven't been together," or "This is not even their roster." So you'll see a lot of the teams that will dominate actually not be up there, or you'll have the usual suspects that are up there for a reason, even if teams are there at full strength, such as like TSM, 100 Thieves, C9.
Well, I think if you're gonna have this thing where you're starting younger players, obviously also due to a COVID issue in CLG's case, if there's any time to do it, it's during the lock-in tournament, right? Because it's just a showcase to get people into things. It's essentially the NFL preseason in a way, but without
younger players like Solo and Wiggly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So my reasoning behind those two actually coming in, instead of showing new talent because they don't really need talent, right? Because they imported Finn, who I guess you can call young talent. And then Broxa, who's a veteran. I think they just want to keep very similar structure to their team. So Solo will act as like the Broxa, and Wiggly, I guess you can call as the young guy like Finn. And it's more of just having to be like a team that could actually have like a structured and competitive time during the lock-in. For the 3 players that will actually be playing on the regular season team. So it's more for those guys more than it is for Wiggly and Solo to showcase their things. Because we know Solo's not going to be on a team after this. If anything, I wouldn't even be surprised if he somehow transitions into a coaching role on this team. And Wiggly will just go back to sucking in academy.
So let me backtrack because I did say the young player thing. I'm just totally fucking stupid about that. My bad. What I meant to say was if there's any time for you to have to play your not initial lineup, the lock-in tournament is the time to do it. And I was more talking about this gives a good shot for someone like is it NXI or Nixie? Whatever
NXI.
So it's a good shot for someone like NXI, right? Who he's coming in for a roster who the guy who's starting over him, he might fuck up and flounder again, type thing, you know. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely weird and odd. Kind of sad we're not going to see how mediocre CLG is going to be. That makes me sad. Because I really want to see them be. Yeah, that too. But I mean, Grig's Grig, I guess. All right. I think we spent enough time on the topic, so we're going to move on to the next one. And this is everybody's favorite part of the podcast because we get to hear Kenshin talk for 12 hours. We're going to go to State of the Kenshin, as we're calling it, State of the Meta. And yeah, so Kenshin, what is the state of the meta, Mr. Coach?
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, if we talk about macro meta, we're still same as last year. Like, pretty much have a lot of early game playing around mid lane and top lane, doing cheater recalls, especially mid lane doing cheater recalls to counter like early bot lane ganks to get dragon control, to rotate the map over, to get herald control, to snowball the map, create like 2 to 3k gold leads. We have a very snowbally meta, very fast meta. And even though we kind of like, if we look at top lane, we kind of like have tanks coming in a bit hotter than last year, where it was mostly bruiser dominated. It's still that bruisers are still really, really, really good because they simply have better early game, which means you get a lot more control. You might be more creative with TP plays. So even though tanks see more play, also Nar kind of made his comeback. You know, we have some Gragas here and there, but overall, you know, bruisers like Camille, Jace, they're still like among the hottest shit overall. Jungle is the same, literally the same meta as we saw in Worlds. Mid lane is, you know, kind of a mage meta, though we still have. I mean, when mages come in the meta, we obviously see a lot of classic mage counters also being in the meta. On the other hand, stuff like TF got a bit of a second row pick now. When at Worlds it was a really hot pick, now it's kind of a second row pick. Like Orianna, Syndra, the more classy mages take over mid lane. But then again, with them obviously being played, we see a lot of Irelia, we see a lot of Yoni, we see a lot of these AD mids taking over. ADC, Jhin is still the top dog by far because, as I said, the early dragon control really, really important in the meta. And Jhin, not just with his great sustain by going fleet footwork or with boots or longsword 3 potions, he also has the push prowess. Very few champions can counter a champ like Jhin. We see Misfortune being strong, Kai'Sa being strong. We might actually see some Vayne because of the insane synergy she has with Kraken Slayer. But overall, we see a very similar meta to last year. And when it comes to support, aside from Alistar being a very standard Leona counter, where last year Leona was even stronger than she's now. She's a bit weaker. There are some reliant answers into it. We can draft stuff like Misfortune plus Bard, which we haven't actually seen yet, but might happen very soon because Bard is really good into Leona. But also, a lot of Alistar into Leona. But Leona is still clearly the top dog in the bot lane. Like, whichever team gets their hand on Leona has just a natural advantage because she controls the map, she controls the lane, she controls the game. Just such a strong champion. But yeah, overall, there are some differences to last year, but we see a very similar meta to last year. So expect the teams that are very explosive in the early game and that have good objective control and understand the fundamentals of the game and how to set up these objectives and secure these objectives and also kind of like bait the enemy into fights around these objective timers still to be the best team. Which also means, for example, a team like Damwon Gaming, even though they lost their brilliant coaching staff, just because they had the fundamentals down so good last year, and also Suning, obviously, they're still very far up there as two of the best teams in the world. Just because when you were good last year, you're obviously good this year too, because the meta is so similar.
So can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes.
So based on some of the things you were saying, so real quick, so that initial burst in preseason and a little bit in the start of the regular season, where we saw that whole like assassin and like assassin mages running rampant, doing split pushing and shit. Is that something you still think that's gonna happen, or has that died down a lot as time has progressed? Because I've noticed a lot of streamers, a lot of pro players, I've been seeing them playing like champs like Orianna and Victor, and Ziggs is coming up a lot. And I'm not seeing as much LeBlanc and Akali as much as I thought I would be seeing.
Yeah, Kali is definitely still very strong. She got gutted a little bit, but she's still quite a very decent pick. She's kind of more of the second row TF kind of like pick, but she will probably see some play. Irelia, Yoni are classic match counters, so they will have see play. But those picks that kind of like took over solo queue for a little bit, I'm not sold on this one at all. Like, I doubt we will ever see a Zed competitive players, stuff like that. It's just like assassins never really lack damage. People were like, oh no, we have mythic items that give you like extra damage and extra whatever, and assassins will do even more damage. But it's more like if you had enough damage last year, why would you need more damage now? The utility is a much more interesting aspect, and mages are just so much better with dealing or utilizing that utility aspects of the new items than a lot of assassins are. Like, if you pick something like that, you basically place a pink ward, and then as Duskblade does what? Nothing.
Yeah, Kenshin, I actually have a question for you. So I forget exactly what game I was watching, but pretty sure I saw Rel in LPL.
Yeah,
However,
Rel is actually viable.
That's what I was gonna ask.
So yeah, what do you think about Rel?
I think she will see some play. I think she's like, she's not Leona Alistair tier, but she's very good in some stuff. For example, if an Alistair goes into a Rel, he will never get out again. And if same goes for a Leona, it's kind of like it makes those engage heavy champions kind of like a one-way trip post 6.
Anti-engage, engage.
Yeah, it's she's on her own. She's not that insane. Also because usually you want an engage support and then pair it with as much follow-up champs as possible. So it kind of like forces, because Rel is not your main engage champion. It kind of forces you to pick stuff like Ornn top lane, which is obviously if you blind pick Ornn and the enemy picks Camille, your top laner will be doomed forever. He will never have fun again in his life. So it kind of like makes a draft around Rel very hard. So you can pick it if the enemy kind of fucks up his R1 and 2 or his B1 to 3, and you kind of like see an opportunity. It's like an opportunistic pick, you know. If you see the Rel angle that kind of like pairs with a good top laner, then you can bust it out. You can even try to like play a very specific style around Rel and not really draft like a real classic engage champion, but rather play a very specific macro style that kind of like evolves around choking. And rather than forcing fights, which is the classic Chinese meta we saw last year, like accelerate the game via skirmishes and small fights. So there are very specific times where we see Rel. Everything else is kind of a mistake and will not pay off, but Rel will see play for sure. And there are some very fancy tactics with her, but she's on her own. She's quite decent, yeah.
I was gonna ask the same exact thing. Was how much would we see Rel if she was even enabled type thing? One more thing on the state of the meta. So please tell me this marksman top lane thing is just a solo queue thing.
Oh no, it's not. Like I actually saw that Aphelios top lane was popular for a little bit in Korea. Quinn top lane is obviously really good in some top laners. And Lucian top lane, mid lane also. Lucian is everywhere, you know.
See,
You're the
like,
Hoonie.
I took a 3, 4, 5 week break from playing League. I went back to play League yesterday just to see what it was about, right? And I picked top lane because I didn't feel comfortable playing ADC after being gone for so long. And I picked something decent. I was like, I'm just gonna lock in Ornn. Team needs a tank, some hard engage, so I'm gonna lock in Ornn. The guy picks after me, and he locks in Vayne. Now, I suck at Ornn, so I got stopped. The very next game, I'm like, I'm not doing that shit again. I heard Gnar is good. I lock in Gnar. The guy I'm playing against, very next pick after me, locks in a Azir top with Ignite. And,
okay, that's the troll.
okay, but
That
3 straight
broken blade
games.
is
'Cause
here.
the game after that, I got a Lucian into like a Darius. I don't like it. I hate it, and I want it to stop. I was hoping it wasn't real because good and damn well, the second any of us see like an off meta ADC going top, it's a wrap for solo queue because I played League for like 3 hours after what's his name? The guy locked in Tank Rengar for Sunning. And
Ben.
yes, been locked in Tank Rengar, and every single Rengar I've seen since then goes Spirit Vision second item, and I'm so fucking mad about it.
NA. What can you say?
Meta slaves, man. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, Vayne top is definitely still a solo queue thing because countering Vayne top is so easy if you can communicate with your jungler. Obviously, even if Vayne on itself is a hyper hard counter to Ornn, like if you leave that lane, if the Vayne outplays a gank, or if that Vayne has just a little bit of alone time with an Ornn, there's nothing you can do in the 1v1. There's literally no counter to Vayne as an Ornn. It's impossible to play. As for the Lucian top, due to the Gale Force meta, it's also pretty much like it was always impossible to win versus Lucian top with most melee champs. But right now that you have Gale Force, this guy has a second dash that also does damage plus gives him attack speed. It's rough because like he can dash into you and then still outplay almost every gank with Gale Force. Like it's impossible to counter it. Really, I'm actually surprised that it doesn't see more competitive play than it does.
Awesome.
Well, regarding meta picks,
Go ahead.
I watched a bit of LCK last night, and I noticed a certain champion popping up a lot of bit. Aatrox. Is there possibilities of seeing a lot more Aatrox, Victor, a lot of older picks coming back into the meta in the top lane? Do you think they're going to be going back to what they were before, which is good blind picks into the meta, which provides a strong basis, or do you think that Aatrox is just it's just a LPL thing, LCK thing? They just like see a pick, think it's good, and just roll with it.
Oh no, Aatrox is 100% at least S minus tier. He's a very, very reliable blind pick right now. Aatrox was never really bad in lane because he can deal with most matchups and not really lose hard. Problem is that he was very, very, very bad outside of the lane. That, he just didn't have the strength that much. He was kind of like a worse version of Renekton at the end of the year. But now that you have the Omni lifesteal on Hydra, you can go Gore Drinker, which basically gives you your HP x 1.5 at least. It makes you deal more damage when you lose HP. You have Hydra, you have insane amounts of CDR due to the rework, and that Gore Drinker gives you ability haste. And even if someone goes anti lifesteal, it's just still really, really, really good. Like before, when you build anti lifesteal, like Grievous Wounds, Aatrox is out of the game. He is useless, completely useless. But now, he's just an absolute monster. He can deal with Gnar. He can deal with Jace. He's just such a good blind pick. Like if you want a weak side top laner that's not like a complete tank, Aatrox is actually the pick to go right now.
So I have one more question for you. This one's kind of like a sorry, Corona. Kind of like a game. So I'm gonna give you 3 questions, and I want you to give me your answer for each of them. Okay. Question 1: what is your most overrated item in League right now that everybody is buying that you think is actually not that good? And why is it Immortal Shield Bow?
I would actually say
Yeah.
it's Kraken Slayer. Like some people still believe that Kraken Slayer is a good option over Immortal Shield Bow or Gale Force, but I simply don't see it. I think it has no place at all, even on champs that have good synergy with it, like Kai'Sa. Like most Kaisers go Kraken Slayer. Frankly, I would still go Gale Force and Kai'Sa. It like the dash of Gale Force, it's just way too OP. Like Gale Force should be nerfed ASAP, and everything that you don't build Gale Force on because it's like the aggressive item, you just build a more shield bow because you want to survive. Like I just don't see a place for Kraken Slayer in this game right now.
See, as a Jhin main, Gale Force is the best, just because it makes me an assassin, and I love that. All right, moving on to the second question. What do you think is the most underrated item that people aren't buying enough of at the moment?
It's
What is
always
it called?
Executioner's Calling.
That's actually the correct
Okay,
answer,
that's not being underrated. That's just people being stupid.
no, but the burn item, the new Leandries,
A demonic
like
embrace.
most people.
Oh no, you mean the
like
mythic.
the actual
Okay.
entries.
Yeah, the mythic one.
It's like Laundry's Anguish or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. See that item, like for example, if you see a Silas in your solo queue game, what would he go? Obviously, he's going Proto Belt because that's what you built last year. But so actually, there's kind of a two-way item. It's not just one item. It's Leandries plus Boots of Lucidity. With the recent buff of Boots of Lucidity, you get 20 ability haste for 900 gold. Basically, if you rush boots, you have like 17 CDR for 900 gold.
Insane.
That's actually insane. And Leander's Anguish also gives you a lot of CDR, plus it gives you the CDR passive. See, on Silas, gap closing is obviously nice with Proto Build, but on Silas, you can't possibly play without CDR. And that goes for a lot of champions. Like, a lot of people say Vladimir is out of the meta. Yo, go Night Harvester, Lucidity Boots, you have 55 ability haste. It's perfectly fine, you know? Like, if you go the correct items, and that's definitely Boots of Lucidity right now is a really, really, really hot item. Especially with Leandries, because it gives you instant so much CDR, pretty much like last year. Like what they want to do with ability haste was like lowering the possibility to get 40 CDR immediately into the game, like 10 minutes in. But with these two items, you basically get like 35% at the same time you got 40% last year. Just that no one else has it, which makes you kind of like an Earth champ in a non-Earth meta. So these two items are insanely underrated and we'll see a lot more play. Like people also started to build it a lot more on Victor too now. Yeah, but just like people are catching up with it that it's really, really strong to build these CDR mythic items.
Awesome. All right, damn.
Nice.
That's some like gold math. See, people don't realize that, especially when it comes to the pro level, like 99% of the time, the best items are the items that give you the most stats for like the least amount of gold, or it's like value over stat. There's like a actual
efficiency.
Yes, there's like an actual like program that people like run and like think about this shit, and it's insane. Last question about the items there, Kenshin. I feel like I probably already know your answer for this one, but what is the most overpowered item in League at the moment?
Gale Force.
Gale Force?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Gore Drinker seems
Again,
like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, Gore Drinker is also ridiculous.
What about
but
Rift
Gale
Maker?
Force for me, it's Gale Force.
See, I feel like this is the first season in a long time where we can flat out say you can make an argument for more than like two items being absolutely ridiculous. You know, like there's like 5 or 6 items where I'm like, wow, that's insane, based on the champion that they're working with. Like Leandry's Anguish seems nuts on Malzahar if you also have Demonic Embrace. You know what I mean? It's just you just melt somebody for more than half their HP bar if they don't have any health or magic resist with just one E type thing. That seems like it's ridiculous, but on other champions it's not as bad. But seeing those items on a champion like a Nivea, and I'm like, wow, how is this allowed? How do both these items that have dot and a champion who has ridiculous dot damage in her ultimate are allowed to have that much synergy together? It's not fair. And it's not okay.
See, if Gore Drinker gave you a dash, I would argue that Gore Drinker might be as good as Gale Force, but Gale Force gives you a dash, and that makes this item so broken.
valuable.
Yeah, like
I saw
if
someone
you're
run Gale Force
0-10
on a Zed the other day, and I was like, what the hell?
if you're 0-10 and you finish your Gore Drinker, you're still 0-10, even if you have 1.5 times your HP bar. But if you finish Gale Force, any ADC that has Gale Force is a threat.
Damn. So, you know, Jin mains, where you at? Big baby.
Yeah, Jin is by far the best ADC.
Which I hate because that means he's gonna get nerfed, which means I can't play him anymore.
Yeah, he will get nerfed for sure.
Everybody's gonna play him, and then he's gonna get nerfed, and then no one's gonna play him, and then I'm gonna play him, and he's gonna suck.
Like the most ridiculous
I'm
part
so
about
okay
him
with
right
that.
now is
Shut up.
that
I know you hate him.
he doesn't really have to build damage due to his insane wave clear.
Yeah.
Because you basically go with at least 3 health potions out of the lane. You have fleet footwork. You have so much health sustain. Nobody can do anything against you. So basically, you can also go cookies, and you're just like, I have infinite mana. I have infinite HP. I'm ungankable because I have boots most of the time. maybe even Swifties if you get a good base. I have infinite push prio. You just can't do anything against a champion. Like in lower ranks, obviously this doesn't matter as much, but the higher you get, the more push prio matters, the more sustain matters. Jin gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Like you can give this man a perfect gank and he gets out of everything.
All the way to Jinfinity. Anybody? Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm funny. All right. Good talk about meta. Anybody else have anything else to ask Kenshin, or add themselves?
I just like the return of Olaf.
I hate it. I hate Olaf.
I actually love. Well, I just love
Olaf,
what
he is the
Olaf.
epitome of press R and slam your face into a wall.
Is it Blabber season, boys? Olaf?
Blabber season.
Olaf's online. Kindred Graves.
Yeah, permaban for Blabber. Promise.
Yeah, actually, I actually like that Graves got an extra counter with cancel with Gale Force. So it kind of like Graves was always this fun cancel champ where you can dish out like 1.5k damage within half a second, and now you have Gale Force too. It's like, how am I gonna cancel all of this shit, man?
Is that Gale Force Caitlyn thing still a thing?
Oh yeah, it is. Actually,
are you serious? They didn't fix that.
Like,
I mean, I know they fixed the Gale Force Misfortune ult issue.
I actually rated Caitlyn as like the 5th or 6th strongest ADC at least because of her Gale Force synergy. And everyone I talked about it was like, nah, Caitlyn's not that good, Caitlyn's not that good. But honestly, I still believe it. Like, the Caitlyn Gale Force interaction is only overshadowed by Kai'Sa, Misfortune, and Jin being insanely strong, by Samira being in the meta and everything. But Caitlyn is still really, really good.
Which sucks, because again, well, actually it doesn't suck, as a Jin main, I love playing against Caitlyn. Alright, we're actually making perfect time with some of these points. We're going to move on to the next thing we're going to talk about. And this one is very, not touchy, what's the word I'm looking for? Very in the here and now. It's very topical, that's what I was looking for. It's very topical. We're talking about the state of professional League of Legends and still being in what people are calling the COVID era of professional sports, professional esports, stuff like that. We're still doing fanless. Teams are still playing from their facility. And I want to know the ramifications and what you guys think about the current state of professional league. If and when, how long this continues, how it's going to impact future seasons. Anybody go ahead and jump in.
I mean, I think first off, League's a little bit lucky just because, I mean, it's literally an esport. You can play from home. However, there's still a big level of responsibility that the players need. Just because, like, you can still do your job and not have to see anybody doesn't mean that they should be irresponsible. Just first off, just be an actual citizen, be like a decent person, you know? But second off, being like in a facility and like, you know, actually seeing your teammates in a team environment does so much. I mean, we saw it last spring when FlyQuest and C9 were the only two teams that were actually like playing together, and they were the two teams that made finals. I think for a similar reason, I think TSM has been in the facility practicing, and C9, I think they're going to be really hot to start off the season just because they have that, you know, with new rosters and all that, they have that in-person ability to actually, you know, make connections and, you know, like, more than just teammates, you know, like friends and stuff, because that stuff, those out-of-game connections actually make your in-game a lot better. With that being said, there was something else that I wanted to add, but yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, I think just to kind of finish off one of the parts you're wanting to say, mostly about C9, is who would have thought that the past is the most pure form of thing you're gonna get in League right now, because everyone thought facilities and everything were the future of League, that we needed offices, we needed to get out of team houses, yet CLG and C9 are the only two operating out of a team house in NALCS right now.
I'm pretty sure CLG has a facility.
I'm pretty sure CLG they have a
Unless like they're just
facility, but they
playing in their
also
house.
live
Okay,
together too.
for sure.
So they still have like the compound.
Okay.
I'm quite sure. But those two are in the house. They're operating as close friends. They're just building a bond. It's just crazy to think about how the rave was about facilities and getting them moved in. Yet, due to COVID, I guess team houses are kind of the thing you would want. It's just a little bit ironic that
Wild Turtle power outages in the middle of the game. um,
Oh,
yeah, I guess the team house thing. Your team house is kind of operating as the same thing as a facility at this point, right? Because it's somewhere you can play from. It's some being in the same room type thing. It's those teams that where all the players are spread out in their own apartments, like Ala FlyQuest, is going to be like the odd one out type thing. So, would you say like openly and actively that smaller teams that don't have as much money or make enough money, and their players are spread out to apartments or not all of them live together type thing, are those players are in fact at a disadvantage?
absolutely,
yeah.
Like without a doubt. Like this is something that can be brought
without
up.
a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So like
because
I wouldn't. Apple, you can go ahead.
Gotcha. Sorry, but thank you.
You're good. You're good.
So about League of Legends, yes, if you don't have an interpersonal relationship and you get to know your teammates, it's just gonna feel like a ranked duo queue. It's literally just gonna feel like these are people that I only come to for work. It has been said multiple times that teams such as like G2, Rocks, Tigers that are close friends perform better on the Rift because they know what they can expect from each other and know when to step up and know when someone is in a bad place. Because if your teammate is acting a little bit weird, going through some issues, and you don't know that and you just think it's normal, that's going to put you at a disadvantage in a series or just in game in general. So if you're closer together, you obviously build a closer relationship, which can lead to more synergy and just feeling more smooth in general throughout the game. So I think not having this in-person facilities or not living together and just like having people separated can be very sometimes tense because scrims some people can view it as if they're performing badly, you can feel ill intention, not intentions, but thoughts about your teammates. You could be like, wow, he's kind of shit, he's not doing good. And and you don't really have any other time than dedicated work time to know that person. So it can be very hard to form relationships, form definitely these new rosters where they're all coming together for the first time. It's going to be an issue.
Yeah, and just kind of adding on to what I was saying earlier, just kind of about like being responsible. Shout out to Seronix in chat, reminding me of what I was going to talk about. The bubble system. I know TSM has a bubble system where they're pretty much only seeing like their teammates, and you just got to adhere to that, right? Because I mean, I'm not here to like say any names, but I'm sure Apple knows there have been LCS pros who just aren't being responsible. And I mean, it's come out recently, right? Like players on CLG have COVID, players on Dignitas have COVID. From what I've heard, there's a couple more players who've gotten COVID, and you know, obviously, like they're like like. Let me rephrase. You just don't want to sacrifice that, right? Because this in-person thing is so important that you know, just being irresponsible and you know not treating your job seriously how it is, like as a job. These players get paid a lot of money to do this. You know, we all want peak performance. So
wear a fucking mask and stay inside and continue to get paid to play video games all fucking day. It's you're in the easiest fucking spot in the fucking world. I get it, like, oh, you can't go to the gym, you can't go see your fucking girlfriend or something. But y'all fucking DoorDash and Grubhub every single meal anyways. So what do you care about your food type thing, going out to eat and shit? So stay home, wear your fucking mask, even around your teammates. Okay, if someone fucking coughs, you treat them like they have the plague type thing. I mean, don't do that because they did horrible things to people who thought they had the plague back in the day. But it's super fucking easy. There is absolutely no excuse to be irresponsible. If football players, basketball players, shit like this, I understand, because sometimes these guys have to go outsource things. So, like, if I'm a offensive lineman and my knee gets bum, I have to go to a therapist to get my knee checked out. I have to, go ice it. I have to go to a facility, a specialist. I'm paying these people hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, like LeBron does. LeBron pays like what, $3.8 million a year to keep his body good. I understand LeBron having to go out because it's like, I'm paying $3 million a year to stay in the prime of my career, so let me just go and do that real quick. But at least he's safe about it. It's a bubble type system. He has a very close-knit group of people. You have no fucking excuse to be going out and getting fucking COVID when you're just chilling at home and you're a fucking professional League of Legends player. It's just dumb.
Yeah,
That's
we don't
just
need
my
any
opinion
Kyrie
on it.
Irvings in the LCS.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, just fuck. I don't understand how they even got it. I mean, I get it. I got it too, and I barely went outside at all. But you know what I did? I went out one night with my wife and her friends. We did like a double date thing, and we went to this like Christmas light special thing. Sure shit enough, even though I was wearing my mask, I got it. And that's what happens. You run the risk of doing it. I knew the risk going out, and I got it. We both got it, right? But I want to know, like, what was Broxa doing? What was Finn doing? Like, what were they doing? Why were they out?
They're just not in the country.
Why?
Visa issues.
Oh yeah, okay. I know why they're not in the country, but I'm talking about players tested positive for COVID, shit like that. It's like, like, why? What were you out doing? Especially with a team like Dig, like everybody on that team is unproven or young. It's like that's not really a good way to present yourself.
I've just heard some teams are more social than others.
I was just gonna say that they are out getting their dick wets. Have you seen some of them?
All right. Anybody have any other closing thoughts on the state of League in the COVID era?
Absolutely. I wanna. I don't know if it will reach this person, but a significant player on CLG. You know who you are. Stop going out partying every day. You know who you are. Stop. like it's one person. Everyone knows who it is. Act responsibly before you get destroyed by the community, because this isn't a joke.
I mean, it's probably gonna come out.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah. No names.
That's all I have to say.
All right, next topic? Question mark.
Damn it, Wild Turtle! Why you party so hard?
Move on to the next topic. Let's see. I don't want to fucking start anything. I'm not gonna say that. I don't think Pope needs a party because Pope's got a party every time his girl comes over.
Yeah. His girl's got a part in her pants. I can tell you
So
that.
guys,
Whoa! Hey!
I'm gonna
No.
I'm gonna leak it, guys. The player's hot shot.
We don't
Hot
objectify.
shot GT, baby.
We don't objectify people on this stream. No, bad,
I
bad.
didn't objectify anything. I just said she has a party.
Shut up, dude. You can't say someone has a party in their pants, bro. Jesus, you're gonna get me canceled, man. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite part of this. Not Pobet's girlfriend's pants. We're gonna go on to predictions, and we're gonna do this in a line. So we're not just doing this like power rankings where we predict teams are gonna finish. We can do that as well. But the main point of this is just you can predict where teams are gonna finish. What are your bold predictions for specific players? What are your bold predictions for certain things? Like, is the first person solo killed gonna be Perks or something like that? Something bold, something crazy, something you think actually could happen. And then back up why. But if you say Perks being the first person solo killed, I'm gonna fucking bop you out of this chat because you're stupid.
I'll start off then.
No, Apple's going first. We're doing Apple first.
Nah.
Come on,
Apple just spoke.
Oh, okay. We'll go the other way then. We'll go Deer up to Apple.
I think NXI keeps his starting job after the lock-in, even with Jose De Joe back. I think he shows out this tournament and they keep him as the starter until he blows or they go on a big losing streak. I just think he'll keep it.
All right, that's boldish. Do you have any predictions for specific finishes for teams? Like, who do you think is going to win the whole tournament?
TSM. I think Spica becomes like the best jungler in NA, because of the the PoE boost of just making junglers better. If you can make Santorin look elite, no, Santorin's not bad. I think just Spica has a like higher ceiling than Santorin, and I think we'll see it this year.
Not to interrupt or change the subject, but can we talk about my wife in chat saying, "Ooh, objectifying. I love big fake titties, awooga." Any takers on that one? Anyone who want to?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
That's it. Party in the fans.
I mean, we can talk about that later in a group of three style thing. Moving on.
Whoa.
Let's go to. All right, Kenshin, how do you see this whole thing going? What's your predictions?
Okay. First, I gotta make a hot take. My hot take is that TL will not make a single finals this year, and that's a hot one. If you look at the roster,
TL won't make
Um,
any finals.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
And now my real predictions, because I'm not a fucking goofball in my predictions, I put TL first. And then I put C9 second, TSM third, 100 Thieves fourth, Fly 5. Actually, no, I put EG 5, Fly 6, CLG 7, Dig 8 actually, because IMT will probably shit the bed for quite a while, and then IMT on. Actually, GGS on 9, IMT on 10.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go with the boy boss.
Yeah, I mean, my big take is that Spica is going to be the best player of this tournament. I guess ohmydyr also kind of alluded to this, but I can say more on it. I've been hearing really good things about Spica, right now,
Me too.
and he's in a really good environment where he's kind of past his rookie phase and he's getting more confident with his teammates, and he's supported by Huni, who's, I mean, yeah, he's Huni, right? But you look at Sven Skaren last year and how he played when he had whoever the fuck he had, like Kumo or whatever, and then how he played when he had Huni, and his Sven Skaren's performance was drastically better with Huni, and I don't think that's a coincidence. You look at what PoE has done for junglers, Santorin, fucking Max Lore, like Kiki's, like Gilius. I mean, I mean, none of those junglers are like bad, but I would probably take Spica last year over any of those junglers without PoE. So I think that Spica is going to get a really big buff this year as well. Additionally, I think that he's going to be able to do a lot more. He last year, Spica kind of had to cover for Broken Blade. Double Up's going to want resources. Bjergsen's, he doesn't really ask for much, but it's also Bjergsen. You got to do a lot for him. I think that PoE and also Lost are going to be much better at letting Spica kind of dictate the game for himself, especially with the carry junglers that he likes to play. I think he's just perfectly set up, especially, I mean, the metas are very similar, and last meta was a great Spica meta for Worlds. And I mean, Sword Art as well. Sword Art's very communicative. That obviously helps the jungler, and Sword Art himself has played with some really good junglers in Sophom and Karsa. So I'm very excited for Spica. Not sure if TSM's going to win lock-in. I currently have C9 winning lock-in. However, I do think TSM will be top 2. One thing that I'm really excited for is, so we know that Greg or Armao is starting week 1 for TL. TL and TSM actually play week 2. So week 2, TL and TSM are going to be at full strength. Obviously, TSM has been scrimming for what, like 2, maybe 3 weeks? I think a little bit after Christmas. So TSM has like 2.5 weeks of scrims, and Santorin is going to have like a week of scrims. So I think TSM should be favored, but I'm really looking. That's my number 1 matchup in the group stage for lock-in.
All right, and we're gonna go to me because Apple spoke before everybody else did. All right, so I was gonna do the Spica one for my bold one because touching on more what Boss said, I heard early on. Now, TSM fans know that I'd be having the scrim results left and right with almost every team. I'm the one who predicted they would shove Kiana into their lineup for 3 different players last year because I saw the scrim results and they did it, and they did. Spica was stomping early on, and then I got COVID, and then the info kind of stopped for me since I stopped looking for it. So we're trying to figure out whether what Boss hears about Spica stomping everybody in scrims is after what I heard, or if the info Boss got was stale and it was the old info. But if it's continuous and he was stomping people throughout scrims, Spica's going to be a problem because he was stopping people in scrims last year and he played great. So might be a problem. So I'm going to say true blue. Go ahead, Boss. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I just want to add one thing that I forgot to talk about. I mean, Spica's main competition as well in the jungle is going to be Blabber this year. However, I think going from Niski to Perks, I mean, C9 will be better because of it, but Blabber's performance, I think, is going to drop off significantly.
Damn.
And the meta is perfect for both of them, so
yeah,
it will be a big test for Spica.
My bold prediction, I'm not 100% convinced this is kind of true, but my bold one is I think 100 Thieves are going to be in the finals of the lock-in tournament. The finals. And I would be surprised if the other team was FlyQuest. Or I don't know if that's even possible. Yeah, I think having the continuity and then upgrading Haunter to Someday, they just have more playtime than anybody else does. I think they're surprise a lot of people. That doesn't mean they're gonna be great in spring or anything like that, but I think they're gonna shock some people. I actually have a second smaller bold prediction, which I actually think is gonna actually happen. I think there's going to be a run on solo kills in just about every lane. I think there's going to be 2v2 kills in the bot lane. There's going to be a lot of mid lane solo kills, and there's going to be a couple of top lane solo kills based on matchups, especially in the first couple games. I think there's going to be like a huge run on solo kills. Actual predictions though, I don't remember where I put my power rankings. Pretty sure I saved them. I probably didn't save them. I'm stupid. I never saved them. But basically, Cloud9's winning the whole thing, right? Everybody else is just kind of there as a formality. I think TSM is going to do pretty okay. What Boss put, but let me remix that. So, I'm saying C9, TL, 100T, TSM, EG, Fly, CLG, IMT, Dig, GGS. So, there's me. Alright, Apple, now you can go.
Hello. Well, to start things off, I think a lot of people are worrying about Grig in the first week, but I don't think it'll be an issue whatsoever, just considering their games are going to be against the first jungler. He's against his Griffin, formerly Wiggly. I don't really think that's much of an issue, and I'm not quite sure who the second game is going to be, but the jungle
right now,
outside of Closer and who else is in the group?
His second game is against Closer.
Against Closer, okay. So he might have issues there that way, but honestly, I don't think TL jungle position is going to be that much of an issue in week 1 as people think it is. So I think Griggle will perform fine. I think he'll actually be somewhat one of the stars on the team temporarily, just because of the massive jungle mid gap in the groups he's against. My top 3 teams for the tournament is going to be 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, and I actually think I'm going to do C9. I think those, just from scrim results, just from just general play from what I've seen and heard about, I think they're going to be good. Although I'm not demeaning TSM or TL in those rankings, I just think that they're going to have a lot more expectations, a lot more pressure on them, because they're one of the rosters that are actually complete for the most part. But for individual players, I think a shining star that a lot of people, I know Boss mentioned it a bit during his explanation. I think Huni will be the top performer on TSM. I think he'll surprise a lot of people. And by the end of it, all the people who were destroying discords over TSM Huni will be very surprised. And in the long run, I think that Niles will be able to. I don't think he'll be. I think he could be a top 3 top laner in this tournament if Golden Guardians plays to a different style. Because I know I've talked about it often throughout the Discord and stuff, but I feel Golden Guardians, this is the tournament where they can pull out the jacks for Niles. I think I think personal pocket picks is going to be massive, and I think that they can upset some people because in their group they have a lot of strong teams, but I mean, just from scrim results and all that, they haven't really looked amazing. But they did take C9 to like a almost like 50-minute game, if I remember. So they definitely have some potential. But going back onto my rankings, I think EG and Golden Guardians are going to be the dark horses of this tournament. I think TSM is going to be a top. So pretty much TSM, C9, 100 Thieves, TL, and FlyQuest are going to be the top 4. No contest on those. I don't think IMT is going to do too great. I don't think they're going to be absolutely the worst. I think Dignitas is going to be without the doubt the worst team just based off of having their full roster and still getting smash and scrims by like filled up rosters with Academy people. I think 100 Thieves is actually going to. I agree. I think they'll be in the finals. They'll definitely be in the finals. They've got to scrim the most as a team. They're the team with the most returning players from the last season. Well, actually, from Golden Guardians. So they're the team that has played together the most. They're pretty much just adding Someday, but Someday isn't really an outgoing person socially, but so he's kind of the glue on it. But I think that will be. I think 100 Thieves and TSM are going to be the finals. I think C9. Ooh, actually, I don't think I can do that just from the way the brackets are. I definitely think it'll be C9 and 100 Thieves in the final with TSM and 100 Thieves fighting it out. But yeah.
It's going to be a fun first game. 100 Thieves, TSM.
Yeah,
First
it will
game of
definitely decide. It will definitely
a fun one.
decide the way the tournament goes. But yeah, I think Niles is going to be the a big if. I think Huna's going to be the best performer. I think Rig is going to be actually one of the better junglers just from the jungle pool in this. I think Dignitas is going to be garbage. I don't think Immortals are going to be as garbage as expected.
So
Yeah,
I've got a
someone
question
was-
for the boss pineapple.
Yeah, what's up?
As a professional karma farmer on Reddit,
Yeah.
on the TSM subreddit specifically, do you have a TSM is doomed thing typed up already so you can just hit enter if they lose the TL?
No, I don't think TSM is doomed at all. I'm not a TSM subreddit karma farmer. I'm a r/lol karma farmer.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you
Yeah.
you graduated. My bad. All right,
However, like
go.
just like on TSM, like I don't know if they'll win this tournament. However, I don't think fans will be like disappointed with TSM, or at least like they shouldn't be. I think TSM, especially beginning of spring, people are like, I was watching like Mark Z did like a power rankings. He has like TSM 4th, and he's like, oh, like he thinks they'll go worlds, but he just thinks they're gonna like start slow. I just disagree. I think if anything, TSM is gonna be one of the hotter teams to start, which is, I mean, weird for TSM, but you gotta think about it. Their whole infrastructure, it's like just a completely different roster.
Oh, boss. You underestimate the power of overreaction.
Yeah.
Well, I think you also just have to count from the amount of time that they got to scrim together as a team.
Yeah.
I think that's where they have to count into this tournament. I mean, 100 Thieves, TSM, C9, they've all gotten plenty of weeks to scrim together as
Which
a team.
is weird. Can we talk about that real quick?
EG,
For the
EG
first
too,
time
right?
in a while, TSM actually, like, aside from the fucking drama with the sword art thing, they actually were one of the teams that had the least amount of like scrim drama this year. When usually it's every year they have a fucking issue where it's like, oh, they couldn't practice this day, or somebody. I was expecting someone on TSM to get like COVID and then fuck up the whole thing. TSM actually just kind of shut their fucking traps and played League of Legends, and it was great to see as a TSM fan for once.
Yeah, but if you look at
Not
their
being the
team,
butt of the
though-
jokes, you know.
Yeah, but if you look at their team, like who's a big partier, like listening to like rumors and stuff of like who are big partiers, like maybe other than Huni, who has like a big fandom. I just can't see. Like we know that Spica just like grinds
Yeah.
League 24/7. PoE does as well. Lost is very like culturally different because he's not from here, and Sword Art takes like the game very seriously. Like
Yeah,
just a
Sword
lot of
Art
the
also
Asian
doesn't have
culture-
anyone to party with.
True, that too, but just a lot of the Asian cultures are like very focused on their job and like just like are actually like frowned upon of like doing extracurriculars. Like they're grinding like 18 hours sometimes, and which is reasons why they're probably better than most teams. But it's like I can't see other than Huni who would be like that one person that would be like screw the team and let's fuck it up for everyone.
I mean,
Bro,
if
Bjork's
anyone,
probably out there
it's
fucking partying right now, dude. What do you mean?
if anyone, it's Hanser. But like Hanser's been pretty good from what I've
Yeah,
heard.
and he's on the academy team, right? So like the
Yeah,
exposure.
but they practice together.
They're in the same facility. Yeah, it would be Hanser and
Yeah.
Cody. Pretty much those would be the only two.
Yeah, Cody.
Power
forgot about
Evil would go out occasionally just to socialize, but
Hey,
not
he's-
so much now. I haven't heard
Yeah.
anything recently.
I honestly heard Power Reveal was really excited about going to the gyms out in California, but he couldn't because of COVID. That was actually something I heard.
TSM facility has a gym.
their first
Yeah, there you
launch.
go.
They have to work out like as like part of their daily schedule. Remember Sword Art was complaining about it on stream.
Dude, I can't wait for Speaker to be swole.
Oh.
All right. All right. We're gonna run through everybody just one more time. So we're gonna do something I'm just calling closing thoughts. Just anybody has an extra point to bring up on something we already talked about. Plug your Twitter, plug your Twitch, plug your fucking Xbox 360 account. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, just plug that shit. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. We're gonna start at the top and work our way down. We're gonna go with my man Apple. What you got?
Oh boy. I mean, closing thoughts. I think TSM. Just from the way just the way they communicate and the way that they've act. I've seen Twitter videos about Spica and Huni yelling at each other back and forth playing chess. I think that honestly, TSM. If it wasn't the brand, I don't know. I still kind of have some. It's the team excites me, but TSM is still back there. TSM is capable of being the butt of the joke every year. I think that they've done an amazing job, although the rough points that we've gone through. I think they've done a really good job getting everyone in early, despite community perception on the whole visa situation. So kudos to them. I think they're going to be a good roster. I think they're good, but I don't know, my personal self, I just can't I just can't fanboy over that organization just from history.
Close Apple's statement real quick. After what Apple said, I just want to give a little linchpin in what he said. I just want to say something I know he wants to say. Hey, yo, fuck TSM Discord. All right, boss. What your closing thoughts, bud?
Yeah, I don't think 100 Thieves is gonna be good. I think Devontae sucks. I think he just doesn't have a support meta. I think FPI is gonna struggle because of that, and I mean, the champions that are really good in season 10 playoffs are not exactly the same champions that are gonna be good now. So I don't think he's gonna be like bad, but I don't think he's gonna be the best AD carry in NA anymore. I think Sven will take that. And closer, I mean, he can be good, but I'm not too huge on closer. I mean, he'll probably contend for top 3. But when I'm thinking of best junglers in NA, I'm thinking more like Blabber, Spica, and maybe Santorin, not really closer. Somebody's good, though. But I just think mid support diff is going to make 100 Thieves like a top 6 team, but I don't know. I would rather take AG.
All right, Kenshin, coming your way. Closing thoughts, bud.
I have a question
They're
to
an
all
hour,
of you,
okay.
actually. Who do you think is gonna be the dark horse of the year? Like, who's gonna come out and smash expectations and just completely overperform?
I think 100
Are you
Thieves.
talking about for the whole split or just for lock-in?
For the whole year.
Oh, the whole
For the
year.
whole year, I think
Yeah,
EG.
I think EG or TSM, just because nobody expects TSM to be top 2,
I
but
think
TSM is the team that has the best chance of going
It's
into the top 2.
EG and Golden Guardians. Those are the 2 dark
I'm
horses.
saying
No one
FlyQuest
else
and
can be
EG.
contended.
I don't know. Fly lost their coaching
Is
staff.
FlyQuest
I'm not huge on them.
Is FlyQuest even like viewed badly upon? I think a lot of people think that their roster is
They're
actually
not
quite good.
viewed in the top 3. Like everybody,
I mean,
I mean, they're still.
everyone
I
has.
think they're viewed as 4 or 5.
Everybody's
so
power
I
rankings
don't
has
think
Fly as
they-
like 4th or 5th, but I'm saying they're gonna finish like
I have
2nd or
6th.
3rd and surprise people type thing.
Yeah,
In
I
some
get
one of the
it.
splits, they're gonna
But, I mean,
they're
dark
gonna
horse
beat
is
someone.
like
My
someone you
dark
don't
horse
expect
is
to be
Dig
good.
doesn't.
I think Jose Diodo is bad.
Oh damn.
Could you call Dig a dark horse if they finish at least 9th?
Hey, yeah, if they finish second last, that's my dark horse. Dig does not finish last.
Deer is switching his bold prediction to Dig's gonna finish 9th.
Honestly, okay, why are we arguing about the top 3 teams? We should just argue about the bottom 3
There's
teams.
nothing to argue about.
Dig, GGS, or Immortals. Like, what's the order?
It's like if we were doing an
Immortals
LEC stream,
should
we'd be
be
like, oh,
number
G2
one.
is really, really good, and Fnatic's
Immortals is
okay.
not gonna be that bad.
Actually, I was wondering, because I heard EG like among the most. Like, why do you all say EG?
They have
I'm
a
not
really
saying
like
EG.
I have like a really solid team, I think, and they have Peter Dunn.
I think EG is
I don't
rated
think
exactly
Peter
the way
Dunn's gonna
they
come and like fix all their issues, but I think they're gonna have a more consistent top side of impact. I think Sven's are gonna be able to flourish off of
Yeah,
that.
but definitely.
Jizuke is still a coin flip, but
Yeah,
like I don't think they'll be top 3 at all, but I think they'll be 4 or 5, which is I think better than what people think.
I think they're gonna finish exactly where everyone thinks they're gonna finish, 4th or 5th for sure.
See, my dark horse is actually also EG.
Pog.
Because like I actually don't know if I'm allowed that. Now I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to say this, but like, so recently Peter Dunn had made like seminars for like upcoming coaches and also like coaches who are already in the scene, and I participated there. It was really insightful, and also I kind of got an idea on how Peter Dunn works. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this man. Like, really impressed.
Sounds like you've got rose-colored sunglasses because you were at a
Like,
seminar
no, like,
recently.
it's not even about like game knowledge. It's more like the general coaching aspects, like how he facilitates the team, how he sets up practice to be effective and stuff like that. So I think most people would rate EG on like 6, but I think EG is at least coming 5, probably upsetting 100 Thieves or TSM on the 4th place, and potentially even in summer might make it to Worlds. Like, I can actually see TSM upsetting one of the 3 big names to actually go to Worlds.
See, I would agree with
team.
you in Peter Dunn's being a great coach, and great coaches help teams along, but I don't care if fucking Keikoma was the coach of EG. Trying to get Jizuke to stop having a monkey brain is very impossible without a lobotomy. So
Yeah, I mean, also they have definitely some definitely
another monkey brain.
Yeah, that's the one thing, definitely.
Definitely looked
Yeah,
good.
I keep
they are
on thinking they have
guys.
lost.
But
Definitely looked good in Academy, in my opinion.
yeah, in Academy.
In
though.
Academy.
I don't
Okay,
think
but,
Definitely will be the reason this roster
I
fails.
mean, he was also on C9 Academy, who had Rain over.
Okay,
as
let's
coach,
not
and, like,
fucking
just an
make this a
insane
let's
team.
shit on Deathly stream.
Yeah, but so
yeah.
for me, EG is the one team that can smash expectations. Like every other team, I think has a range of like 2 spots, maybe 3, but EG they can go completely apeshit from in my eyes. Like they can, like Svenskeren can turn it on and go to MVP Skaren. Jizuke can go wild. Definitely can look really
Yeah.
solid.
Dude, if you can like figure out Jizuke, like Jizuke could
Yeah.
be one of the best mid laners in the league. He's just
If
like
you can figure him
he needs
out.
to turn his brain. He just needs
I
to turn
can-
his brain on.
But yeah, if you could figure out the combination to a vault, you could open it up and be rich, but it doesn't mean you're
It's
gonna
the same. It's the same
to a
thing as
vault.
like TSM and Huni. I think. Like I think Huni is gonna be a lot more stable than Jizuke.
Which is
but-
crazy to say. 'Cause Huni's
yeah. Imagine saying that like 2 years ago.
I actually think that they could have that ceiling, like Kenshin is talking about, if Nemesis signs.
Nemesis is in Korea. Like it's
See,
happening.
I don't
He's
agree with
technically
that either, Gum. I don't think
replacing
Lost is
PUBG.
that good.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
like,
if he were
hypothetically.
yeah, hypothetically, if he were to sign, let's say, at the halfway split, at MSI split, like
Yeah.
it were to be announced or something random, right? Like that he gets contacted, um, then that team I could see what Kenshin's talking about, like making worlds and being top 3. That would be realistic, but I think Jizuki's just so far along that he's ingrained in the same randomness that he does over and over again. It's hard to break a habit like that.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I think Huhi and Huni, both of them are like in the same thing, right? Like they both have like expectations to be like the same bad players or mediocre players. And they have to like break through some borderline. We saw Huhi break it out last year with him and FBI looking good. And then Huni has the same expectation of like being bad. So they have to like kind of break through this extra barrier, and I just haven't seen Jizuke have like the confidence and also like will to push through it. Like a player like who is somewhat broken it, but has hit a peak in my opinion. So that's why I have like 100 Thieves looking as a team that actually could fail.
Yeah, I also think 100 Thieves is kind of the anti-Dark Horse, because like most people that don't have an affiliation towards TSM rated 100 Thieves on 3rd place above TSM. So 100 Thieves for me is definitely the team to fail. Like
they
I don't know.
peak in my opinion,
I
right?
don't know. I just
Like
think they're gonna
we've
do
seen
it,
the
man.
peak of everyone on their roster, right? Closer was like a top 3 jungler. FBI was like a top 2 AD carry.
Demonte's Poe Belter Part 2.
Huhi you could say was not the best support, but like him and FBI as a duo were like really good. Demonte was
the meta
mediocre,
support is completely different. That's my
that
opinion.
as
Though.
well.
Yeah.
But like just like most of these players though have already hit their peak, right? Like it's just going downhill from here. Like other than someday who could maybe carry some of this team, I just think like closer FBI or like FBI plus Hui have already hit their peaks of being mentioned in like the top 2 of their positions,
Mhm.
right? Demonte, we know, I think has already hit his ceiling, like, and it's not really high. And we know someday as a good player could be like #1 when he wants to be. But like again, we've seen the ceiling from all these players. You'd have to like literally all of them would have to click at their ceilings to even be good. And even then, we saw GGS last year fall short playing at
And
their
like, in like an ideal meta where like I mean, who he can play what fucking mages, whatever the fuck he likes, and then um Demonte can play like his weird like fucking melee shit mid lane. Like I think they'll be good again. But I mean, right, especially like right now, locking in like spring. I don't think they're gonna be bad, but I don't see the top 3. And I agree with Kenshin as like the anti Dark Horse.
Like
Alright.
I don't know, the Monte is just so overrated. Like people
He's so
still
bad.
point at like, oh, remember in Clutch, like the Monte played against all these good mid laners and he didn't lose. And I was just like, yo, did you see him last year? He was shit on by everyone. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, in which reality are we living in that the Monte is still considered good? Like there was like a small time, like 1 maybe 2 months where people were like, oh, the Monte is the best native mid, he's better than Pobelter. But like right now, like would you say the Monte is better than Pobelter? I for myself
No way.
100% no.
I think
Like,
he's Diet Poe Belter.
like he's better than a Blaze Olive, but like even like
You can't prove that.
Dude, honestly, in this meta, I might
knew
rather
Boss
have a
was gonna
Blaze
say
Olive.
something
yeah,
about a Blaze.
honestly, I'm not even sure about that. But like, I mean,
Fucking
he
hell.
fought in Dig with a Blaze over the spot, and he got it, but it wasn't even like a super like it wasn't like an easy battle for him, it was close. Like I don't even know, like a Blaze could, like in GTS, and Air is not a bad coach, like a Blaze could definitely outperform the Monte by the mid or end of this year. Like the Monte had so much time in LCS. A Blaze is technically a rookie. Like I think Demonte is just overrated. And Hui, obviously, he looked insane on ranged supports, but like it's Leona meta. It's over.
All right.
Caitlyn, Ashe also out.
We're gonna we're gonna take that.
FPL will be fine on like Kaisa or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
like
you could
100
easily play
Thieves.
Jin, but it's just
100
know.
Thieves
All right.
has
Let's
to
we gotta
reboot.
move on.
Oh.
We spent too much time on just Demonte at this point. Final thoughts for Deer. Well, I'm guessing you gave most of yours in that rebel of conversation.
Yeah, I think we've covered most of like what I think about this slate. It's gonna be interesting,
Alright.
seeing these teams. Yeah.
All right, we're
One
gonna go down the
last thing.
list. Hold on.
Apple has one last thing.
Apple, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll be the one to say it. I thought someone else was gonna mention it. I think that EG, yes, is gonna be a dark horse. I think that you have to put some respect on CLG's name, somewhat.
Dang,
Uh,
especially for lock-in.
okay.
CLG's gonna be okay.
Dude, CLG is
they're
gonna
not.
be okay for lock-in.
No, they're
CLG
not.
is gonna be good during the regular season. I think a lot of people are disrespecting Finn. I think Finn is a player that a lot of people have kind of they don't really know the real Finn. On Rogue, he was kind of forced to play a more tank style, not really his style. On this team, it's definitely you can see Pole Belter being the supportive, you can see Broxah being the supportive, and you can see Finn and Turtle being their old styles.
Turtle's a
being
huge
aggressive.
upgrade.
I think it's a huge upgrade. I think the roster is good. I think you cannot disrespect it because all these players are capable of winning. They've all been on one or two place rosters. Finn was first place LAC regular split last season. I don't think you can forget that. I don't think you can disrespect that. His
What?
Yeah, I just feel like his identity's been kind of morphed because I think he's kind of a selfish player. That was shown through his tank play last split on Rogue, just from the way the team was formatted. He had to play that way, but his Irelia is clean. He's known for it. His Kled is clean. His Akali, Kiana, Aatrox, all these set, yes. He's really good on aggressive champions, but he's never got to shown it yet. I think that's even a better thing because he's capable of playing both styles, and it's shown. Because he's played both styles before, and he succeeded playing both. And for a player of his age, I think that's absolutely insane. Broxah, he's capable of winning. He's won before. He didn't perform the best, but look at the jungle competition. It's not going to be that high. I think that consistency is all CLG really needs because they're going to be having a lot holding back Finn and Turtle from running it. I think the only person I cannot give high notes to is Smoothie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's the one person they actually should have looked to upgrade in the bot lane. I would rather them get a new support and keep Stixay rather than like if it was in my mind, you get to choose one position to get rid of and replace the other. I would not replace Stixay with Turtle. I would replace Smoothie with anyone else. But yeah,
okay,
that's
but
kind of my
counterpoint.
thought. I think,
it's CLG.
yeah, fair, but
It's
I mean,
CLG. Without fail, they will suck.
CLG, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but like also CLG was a really good team.
Okay, I remember we had Boss. Me and you, I'm pretty sure, had this exact same conversation about CLG when they had that fucking 14-win season, and everyone was like, "Oh, they're gonna be pretty solid going in the next year. They got crown. Everything's gonna go good." Da, 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 da. And they shit the bed. They shit the bed every year. Everyone says they're gonna finish 6th. They're gonna finish 10th. Everyone says they're gonna finish 3rd. They're gonna finish 7th. It's CLG. Until I see it, I refuse to believe it. They're poorly coached, poorly staffed, and they have a bunch of fucking like players from everywhere else that they plug together and like, hey, if we take a fucking expired tomato and put it with some celery, some nice celery it's got at the grocery store, and like a filet mignon, we throw it together, all you're gonna fucking taste is that nasty ass tomato.
Fair,
Okay.
but if you really
two
think
different
about
teams,
it,
though.
the
Like, I'm
only
not even a
two-
CLG fan. It's just like
I know you're not.
Like everybody was super high on the Crown signing, and like
I hated it. I hated it. I was one of the people said it
Crown was
sucked.
really fucking good the year before, and I guess at that point people didn't really realize that like PoE just makes his junglers better. So Wiggly actually looked like a player when he had PoE. So you have like just mid jungle was so important last year, and then you had fucking Wiggly Crown.
And Crown was just like, I'm not doing that shit. Get
Yeah,
me the
like-
fuck out of here. I'd rather play in
Ruin
second
just
Korea
ran it
than this
down.
shit.
Like, yeah, CLG was bad, but I feel like you can't really compare like, oh, CLG fucking failing because Crown is dog shit to like CLG isn't gonna be like CLG will make playoffs.
I mean,
know,
did
like-
you watch Crown in second?
Well, yeah,
Korea?
because they have to finish out of 8th to not make playoffs now, right?
Oh, I mean, I meant like top 6.
Oh, okay.
Like they'll be a top 6
Yeah,
team.
because
Like,
you can finish
I don't think
eighth
they'll
and
be
technically still
5,
make
but I
playoffs
think
now.
Like,
Man,
just saying,
I actually-
Crown
I mean,
in Korea looked like a completely different player. He legit 100% ran it down on purpose. I'm telling you, he
Yeah,
wanted to
I
get the
just
fuck
think
out of
it's
there.
so
All right.
disrespectful that people are rating CLG this year as the same as last year. Just think about like all the changes they made. They got Turtle, who was actually fucking insane during Worlds, and he's actually on the upswing. in
Yeah,
his
but
career.
look who his support
They got-
is.
Yeah, but his support,
Turtle-
that's kind of what I'm dead. But I'm just saying, like the
Turtle
general
has
thing,
always had good
a lot of
supports, and the
people are
one time he had a
breaking
bad
down.
support when he had
If they
JJ,
have
he played
made
some shit.
upgrades to their
That's
roster,
a hot take in the chat. CLG's finishing under Dick this year.
Woo!
That's a hot take.
I believe it.
dude. Like
I
they got an
don't.
upgrade top lane, they got an upgrade jungle, they got an upgrade in the ADC position. Those are 3 upgrades in the most crucial positions. But
Dude,
I mean,
a
not
pet
most
rock is an
crucial
upgrade over
positions.
6A.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just think they're gonna be the underdogs. I think they're gonna perform somewhat good. I think they're gonna the only really I just think if they're not gonna be that bad. Come on, guys. It's CLG, but like come on. Look like just remove the cloud over your eyes and like be like
Yeah, no,
holy shit.
honestly,
They
I
they've
agree
all
with
won
you.
before they know how to win. They're capable of winning. Come on.
For me, CLG is solid. They're not anything crazy or special, but they're solid. I don't think they're gonna be bottom 3. I
I
don't
think their
think
ceiling is going to
they're
finish
gonna be.
6th.
I don't think they're gonna be better than 6. Yeah. But I also think they're not gonna be worse than 8. Like 8 is their worst, 6 their highest. Like I think they're probably gonna make
Super
7th.
average. Yeah, makes sense.
Like,
And I don't think they'll do anything.
but
in
I think they
playoffs,
don't
but-
deserve the hate.
All right. So we have reached, I think, a solid time to go ahead, and we've all given our closing thoughts. Solid time to say thank you and goodbye to all the boys. We're going to give everybody a quick second to promote what they've got. Apple, would you like to promote anything? Like go follow Apple on Twitter at Applehead123, whatever it was.
Not really. No, I'm tier 4 Laker. Don't look at my Twitter. Love you guys.
Gotcha. Boss, anything to promote?
Yeah, twitch.tv/boss2. I stream sometimes. You can spam the chat, just click on my name, press that follow button. Twitch.tv/boss2.
Am I following you?
I hope so. I also have my alerts up, so I'll give you a little shout out if you follow me.
Pog. All right. Kenshin. Coach Kenshin. Anything to follow you? Are they finally going to be airing your team's games next year? Or?
Oh yeah, actually, we're gonna play in Legends Esport. Like I coach a Canadian team, we're gonna play in Legends Esports GG and also in something that's called like GRLC or some shit like that. It's actually bigger than like there's a bit of money in there. I like it because I get paid, obviously. But yeah, I also want to promote my Twitter and obviously also my Twitch. You can also look in the Skeleton Discord where I'm mod. You can always send me DMs if you want to get some coaching. Obviously, it costs you a little bit, but you know,
He doesn't
if
even
you're
coach
gonna
me for free, and I'm his friend.
if you want to get some, you know, some upgrade in your league gameplay, follow me on Twitter, ask me to coach you, and obviously I'm gonna start streaming at the end of February. More info to that is on my Twitter, so you can pre-follow me on Twitch. It's gonna be awesome. You will learn a lot. So if you want to get better, I'm your man.
Pog. Thank you, Kenshin. All right, deer. And deer's dead. There's a dead deer in the chat. Okay. All right. I am going to bop the both of y'all because I have to do a little thingy thing. So I'm gonna move two of you guys. How do I can't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah, just-
Thank you for having me. See you next time.
All right, boys. So before everybody goes, just real quick, I wanted to take the time to personally explain my extended absence, just really quickly for like a minute. So basically, the skinny of it is, off season was winding down. Got super kind of like depressed and disheartened because naturally, seeing all the people unfollow, getting all the fucking like hate messages and shit that I usually get, and it's just kind of draining. And then when I was trying to make the comeback, do streaming and do the streaming schedule stuff, I then got COVID, which kind of fucked everything up. Had that for a while, hated it, sucked ass. And then I went to California to visit my parents, did that for a while, and when I came back, it was hard to find the motivation again because I just came back to more of the same, just people shitting on me for no reason. I guess I'm not a real person or anything like that. So yeah, but I can tell you right now, feeling good. I'm feeling fine. I enjoyed the stream. Appreciate you guys coming out. So we're gonna keep doing this. Do it more. Appreciate the subs and the follows and the donations. Everybody who does everything. I just like having you guys around. I don't care if it's 1,000 viewers or 2 viewers. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. I promise I'm gonna be following the stream schedule soon. We will have another episode of the Bare Bones Podcast out after the lock-in tournament, and before the spring half split thing, whatever it's called. Also, we're gonna try and get some episodes out in between games during the tournament as well. This episode of the Bare Bones Podcast will be uploaded on YouTube in 2 days. Okay? And I promise we'll have a new overlay where it doesn't say free agency. Alright? Love you guys. Thank you.